Well, many people had to improvise without an umbrella or just brave today's wet weather. Sudden rain showers put a damper on many people's day downtown. We're going to go straight over to meteorologist Robert Hahn, who is joining us. And Robert, is this going to continue for us?
We will have a chance for some showers and storms, especially to the south and east of the Fargo-Moorhead area. We've got some severe weather ongoing right now. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning. This for Traverse County. This goes until 6:30 tonight. This severe thunderstorm was located at 5:58 p.m. right around Dumont or near Wheaton. It's moving east at 25. Some hazards with this storm. And we'll stop that loop there, and you can see what we're talking about. That storm right there, quarter-sized hail is possible with this storm as it continues to move off towards the east at 25 miles per hour. In addition to the hail and wind threat, a lot of lightning coming out of this storm. And as we take a look at some other storms across the region, we do have quite a few storms. That big blue box there, that is severe thunderstorm watch. That goes through midnight tonight. A lot of storms just to the south and southeast of Fargo making their way off over into Minnesota, and that will continue as we head through the next few hours. A closer look at those storms. And again, it's going to be a rock and roll time of it over the next few hours. Here in Fargo, things should start to improve pretty quickly over the next 30 minutes or so, but we'll continue to monitor these storms off to the east and the southeast as we head through the rest of the evening. We'll also take a look at the rest of your weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Robert. And you can stay up to date on the changing weather conditions anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just download the Storm Team Weather app to get the latest weather conditions and even follow the radar live. Just search for Valley News Live VNL Weather in the App Store to get that app. Well, we have breaking news for you tonight at 6. 4 people are in the hospital after a head-on crash this evening. It happened around 4:30 on Cheyenne Street in West Fargo. Police say a car with 2 people inside swerved into the oncoming lane, hitting another van head-on. Both cars are a total loss, and traffic was backed up while the crews cleaned up the mess.
The 2 that weren't wearing their seatbelts sustained some serious injuries, serious head injuries. Both of them hit the windshield. They're both being transported to the hospital.
West Fargo police say they believe alcohol was a factor in the cause of the crash. Well, family and friends came out to remember Sharon Rick, a mother killed in West Fargo murder-suicide last weekend. Dozens of people came to her funeral that was held at St. Anne's Yoakum Catholic Church. She has been buried at the Holy Cross Cemetery in South Fargo. And West Fargo police say Sharon's husband, Lance, shot her, then took his own life. Rick leaves behind 2 children. Well, 1 person was killed in a car crash this morning in Polk County, Minnesota. 21-year-old Devin Hagan of Foston rolled his pickup truck on County Road 6 at 12:45 a.m. And police say he was not wearing his seatbelt and he did consume alcohol. A Minnesota State Patrol is still investigating the crash. Well, North Dakota Highway Patrol released the name of a man that died in a crash yesterday near Devil's Lake. 51-year-old Greg Mayer of Minnewacan, North Dakota, was driving on Highway 19 when his pickup truck left the road, hitting a pole and tree. His speed at the time was unknown. Well, the recent death of a 6-month-old Owen Skoji, found unresponsive at the unlicensed daycare earlier this week, certainly has spiked a conversation about unlicensed versus licensed providers. Cass County Family Services says there are 500 licensed daycare providers in the county and plenty of unlicensed providers. The difference between the two is that unlicensed providers only can care for 5 kids, including their own. Once you hit that number, you're required to get a license in North Dakota.
I think there's some people who just choose not to be licensed because for, reasons like they don't want anybody else in their home, or they don't want to do the training that required year to year.
There are many things parents should do beyond checking if a daycare center is licensed. Experts at Cass County Family Services say you should ask daycare providers for references and do a few unannounced visits. Then, after you do pick a daycare, ask your kids how it's going. Watch their reactions when you drop them off or pick them up. Now, you can find more helpful tips. Just go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Well, now is also your chance to stop corruption in your community. If you discover something suspicious, call our whistleblower team and we'll work to investigate it. You can call our whistleblower hotline. The number's on your screen and leave your tip. The University of Minnesota students, they might be paying more in tuition this next school year. A proposed tuition freeze was not included in a recent bill that increased spending on education. The university proposed a 1.5% tuition increase for in-state students, totaling about $12,000. Out-of-state students would see a 7% increase, which comes to a little more than $19,000. Room and board rates will also go up. The Board of Regents will discuss the proposal next week. In a 5-0 vote, the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission approved plans for the Sandpiper Pipeline project yesterday. The proposed project was said to increase the amount of oil flowing across Minnesota by 225,000 barrels a day. The oil will travel from North Dakota to Superior, Wisconsin. The final route of the 612-mile pipeline has not been approved, but will likely not be finalized until 2016. Environmentalists have expressed concerns about the potential risks that the pipeline might have on lakes and rivers. Well, the special session House Republicans wanted to hold today did not happen because Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton and the House Speaker could not resolve their differences. The dispute is over a brand new law that allows counties to hire private auditing firms instead of using the state auditor's office. Governor Dayton initially wanted the law repealed, but Thursday night offered a compromise that would have it take effect a year from now. Speaker Kurt Daudt projected the offer, saying nothing could be changed by waiting a year, and pledged lawmakers would revisit the issue in 2016. The issue is holding up a special session during which lawmakers are expected to pass bills to replace the public schools funding and other issues. If a new budget is not in place by July 1st, parts of state government will shut down. At least 9,400 state employees have already received layoff notices in the event of that shutdown. Well, some Blue Cross Blue Shield customers in North Dakota may soon see a significant rate increases on their premiums. Insurance companies submitted the proposed rate increases for individual and small group plans under the Affordable Care Act and are awaiting the state's approval. Blue Cross Blue Shield North Dakota proposed an 18% increase for their individual plans. Medica Health Plans and Time Insurance Company also proposed rate increases in North Dakota. The state submits their approval by November. And now premium hikes have had a lot of buzz on our Facebook page. And remember, you can like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can join in on the conversation, follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates. And you'll also stay informed throughout the day on your news feed. Well, more than 1,000 mourners gathered in Wilmington, Delaware today for the funeral of Beau Biden, the son of Vice President Joe Biden. The vice president and his family watched as an honor guard carried the casket into St. Anthony Church. Beau Biden died of brain cancer a week ago at age 46. A former Delaware attorney general had planned to run for governor. President Barack Obama remembered the vice president's son and spoke during the service.
Anyone can make a name for themselves in this reality TV age. Especially in today's politics, if you're loud enough or controversial enough, you can get some attention. But to make that name mean something, to have it associated with dignity and integrity, that is rare.
In addition to the president speaking, so did both siblings. A Spokane, Washington woman is okay after she had her tanning bed catch fire while she was inside. She says she heard a sizzling noise and then saw plastic from the bed bubbling up near her feet. That's when she quickly got out and an employee called 911. When firefighters arrived, the tanning bed was fully engulfed in flames. A sprinkler system did keep that fire from spreading, but there was extensive damage. The salon owner says the tanning bed was only about 5 years old. The fire chief at the scene says another tanning bed caught fire last year at a different tanning salon in town. Well, later on Valley News Live at 6, hundreds of bikers rode in the Fargo area to help kids in need.
We've got some stormy weather out there, including one severe thunderstorm warning. We'll take a radar tour and take a look at the rest of your weekend forecast coming up right after this.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know.